Jeremy Hunt, U.S. congressional candidate, West Point graduate. He's also been deployed to Ukraine to train forces there. Jeremy, good morning to you. Want to start off with your current assessment of the situation. It feels like an invasion is imminent, although the Biden administration says that they don't think that Vladimir Putin has made up his mind yet on what he wants to do. So where does that leave us?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like war is on the way on the border of Ukraine. All the intelligence estimates seem to point that way, all the reports that we've seen on the news. And so now, one of the issues, though, that we're going to see is the humanitarian crisis and the issue of how are they actually going to get Americans out of the country. And as we saw in Afghanistan, the Biden administration will leave Americans behind. I mean, they showed us that in Afghanistan. And so they've given us no reason to believe or to have any confidence that the same thing would not happen in Ukraine. And so I'm urging all Americans to get out of the country as quickly as you can, because the Biden administration will not save you. And that's clearly been the message that they've sent. And, you know, it's just this whole thing, it's amazing how we got here. I mean, just the Biden administration from day one has projected such weakness from the White House that Russia no longer fears us. They no longer respect us around the globe. And that's honestly how we got here in the first place. So, I mean, this entire situation has been a complete mess. And unfortunately, we have the White House to blame.
You know, Jeremy, it's interesting. We read it in your bio on the way in. You've been involved in helping to train Ukrainian forces in the past. What capacity do you believe they have with a full-on onslaught from the Russian military? Presumably that was years ago, and they've received more equipment and training since. But what's your sense of the will of Ukrainians to fight and their capabilities?
Ukrainians will fight. They love their country. They are very proud to be Ukrainian. And I'm telling you right now, there are men and women in Ukraine right now that are willing to give everything for their country. And that's something that's incredibly special. And here in the United States, our job should be continue to give them the resources that they need to fight and to defend themselves. But it's also a cautionary tale for us here. We have to secure our own borders, and we also have to restore pride in our own country. And we have to be proud to be American and proud to lay down our lives for our country. Because in Ukraine, that's what they're willing to do for theirs. But here in the United States, we have our military leaders telling us about how evil, not our military leaders, but at least our senior officials in the Biden administration are telling our soldiers how evil America is. And if you remember, the Biden administration spent the better part of last year saying that our military is full of white supremacists and racists and that demoralizing our troops. So Biden's strategy up to this point has been demoralize and then deploy. So he demoralizes them and lowered morale on troops and then deploys them to pull them closer to the action. And so I'm telling you right now, we're fed up. I mean, the military community here in my district, I'm right outside of Fort Benning, people are upset about this. I mean, it's time for Biden to actually come up with some common sense foreign policy. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress, is to turn the tide and actually ask the tough questions and have some hearings in Congress to see what's going on. And so please feel free to join us. You can join us at huntforgeorgia.com because we're going to get some answers for this.
Demoralize and deploy. Weakness invites these types of moments in history. That kind of criticism you're offering this morning, Jeremy, has not been received with an open mind. It's been received with some bit of defensiveness from the Biden administration. Take a listen to Jackie Heinrich pressing Jen Psaki on the Biden foreign policy approach.
The president has frequently talked about getting out of Afghanistan as a major event. It has impacted his polling. This is a current event that is underway. The question is, what does the administration say to critics who are looking at these two events and questioning this administration's foreign policy approach?
Who is questioning us? Give me
plenty of Republicans.
Like who?
I could name off any number of Republicans.
I'd love to know a name.
Goodness. Mitch McConnell.
Okay. Well, here's what I would say to Mr. McConnell. The president ended a 20-year war in Afghanistan, a war that had cost us thousands of American lives, billions, trillions of dollars. This is entirely different because we are not ending a 20-year war. We are trying to prevent war here.
Instead of McConnell, let's just put in Jeremy Hunt. There's your message to Jeremy Hunt.
It's absolutely amazing. I mean, what they're trying to do, they're hoping that the American people have a short memory and that somehow we forgot how he demoralized our military and dropped morale by these white supremacist witch hunts earlier this year. They're hoping that we forget what happened in Afghanistan about the Americans that were left behind. And they're saying, oh, well, in Ukraine, you should trust us. Believe us, we're going to help. We have a plan. The American people are not stupid. We can see right through it, and we're here, and we're going to ask the tough questions. And we are out here actually advocating for our American troops because the Biden administration will not.
Absolutely not. Jeremy Hunt, thanks for your insight and your service to our country, and I know you want another chapter of that service as well, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Jeremy, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.